free medical, dental, and vision care. And there's no catch, only kindness and acceptance.
This is important work. These people needs this care.
It was amazing to see, well, what are we capable of? Imagine if we applied that energy to other things.
Compassion rules at this clinic, and a revealing documentary also proves the power of community. And a different event known as Seattle Stand Down offers a hand up to veterans in need.
And I'm like, no, thank you for coming out, it's important.
These stories and more next on CityStream.
Good girl.
Hello, I'm Enrique Cerna, and welcome to CityStream, here at Seattle Center, the site of this year's Seattle King County Health Clinic. Since 2014, this clinic has served 20,000 patients. The giant volunteer-driven health clinic provides free medical, dental, and vision care to anyone in need. Anyone. And you don't need to live in Seattle or King County to participate. Plus, no one is ever charged for services. This year, the 4-day clinic runs from Thursday, February 13th to Sunday, February 16th. With Key Arena out of commission, other Seattle Center facilities like McCaw Hall will be used instead. Now, this clinic is a massive operation and it takes thousands of volunteers to coordinate and administer. The Seattle Channel was here the first year of the clinic. Abby Gibb shows us what to expect if you plan to attend.
Hours before sunlight washed over the Seattle skyline, they were already there, by the hundreds outside Key Arena. What time did you get here?
Be here last night, 10
p.m.
10 p.m.
So you've been waiting for 6-7 hours already?
Yes.
Cold. We were outside.
Mothers and husbands, the homeless, and the new working poor, lining up for a chance at basic health care.
If you're here to see the dentist, just raise your hand and show us your number.
Deidre Hernandez and her niece Lynette immigrated from Honduras more than a decade ago. They've never had health insurance.
They were charging me $2,000.
Lynette's had impacted wisdom teeth for 3 years.
Yeah, that side.
Deidre can't see out of her left eye.
I see, but very little. So you make money, but you have to pay your rent, your bills. You have to send money to the families.
Even those with health insurance struggle. Brenna is a single mom from Tacoma.
It don't pay enough. Your out of pocket is too much. And when you live paycheck to paycheck, it doesn't work.
She'll wait 15 hours.
Crazy. Glad I got here early.
We're good to go ahead and let them in here.
3 minutes to go. They're coming in. Thank you very much.
More than 600 volunteers waited.
You'll type that in, that will log you into the system.
Ready to give their time and expertise to whomever walked through the doors.
We do not ask for any IDs.
Okay, we're getting started here. Who's got number one? Come on down.
The first thing it means to me is that we know that there's people out there in need. There are people who are in pain, they have infection, they need some way to get help.
There you are, and she'll get you the rest of the forms.
Number 8, please. Hold your number up.
Will you ask him when was the last time he saw a dentist?
Better 5, 6, 5.
Want to try that out?
1,200 pairs of glasses will be given out over the 4 days to men like Marcus Carter.
You want to do it in that one?
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to read a bus stop sign for years.
And when was your last dental visit?
It was like 3 years ago, maybe.
Earlier in the week, you might have seen a concert at the center of Key Arena. The arena floor now has 67 dental operating areas. And Lynette...
Oh, there she is. She's right there. What do you do? I'm Christine. I'm your hygienist for the day.
...is finally getting help.
In the luxury suites, where typically many of us never go, there's exam rooms where you can see a doctor, you can get women's health, you can get wound care, you can get foot care, you can get chiropractor, acupuncture. We have a full laboratory brought to us by Group Health. all the highest tech imaging equipment in the building. This is not a rundown little clinic.
On any other day, this would have been the scene of music, not medicine.
Great. 110/78.
Culture, not care.
Okay, is that clear out there?
Turning Key Arena into a giant doctor's office only seems strange to those who don't need it. This weekend, it was needed.
This is a huge blessing.
The Seattle King County Health Clinic does not require patients to show ID or prove citizenship status. Patients will never be asked for documentation of any type when being admitted to the clinic. And if you'd like to learn more about the free service, just go to the website at the bottom of your screen, seattlecenter.org/SKC Clinic. Next on CityStream, many believe the clinic caters only to the homeless and drug addicts. An enlightening new documentary clarifies who's truly in need. CityStream continues from the Seattle Center Exhibition Hall. This will be the site of the dental care for the health clinic. So far in this program, you've seen the clinic in action, patients receiving much needed care, and an army of dedicated volunteers. Another thing the organizers hope that you'll see is a memorable documentary called Stronger Than Medicine. It affirms the good that can result when community comes together. Much more on the making of this documentary with the clinic's project director, Julia Colson.
We did not know whether or not we would be able to hold the clinic anywhere else.
The redevelopment of Key Arena left the health clinic without a home, but other venues will be used, including the Exhibition Hall, McCaw Hall, and Cornish Playhouse.
Here's the story of all these people and organizations coming together to help serve their community. So we wanted to capture that.
You walk in the door, you've got an abscessed tooth and you're experiencing pain and infection and it's affecting your whole life, and we can fix that for you today.
That's too good to be true. To get free dental, free vision, free medical, there's got to be a catch, and they're skeptical about it. Anybody is welcome to come in. You don't need ID, you don't need documentation of status.
I loved the idea of providing healthcare with no barriers. I loved the idea that there'd be an army of interpreters.
The title of this documentary, Stronger Than Medicine, reflects a common thread discovered during its production.
Stronger than the healthcare piece was the fact that the community was coming together, that people cared about one another.
And that was a really powerful message to experience. And beyond that, it was amazing to see, well, what are we capable of? Imagine if we applied that energy to other things.
At the end of the day, we're all people, and we're all here just taking care of each other.
People coming together with a common theme, a common desire to help.
All of the people who are working there are there to serve. They're there to do some good in some people's lives.
And that good is intended to help everyone in need, including those you might not suspect.
Who is in need and what does in need look like? It's not only people who are out of a job. It's not only people who are experiencing homelessness.
The majority of the people come do have some form of health care, but they can't afford to use it because the copay is too large. The out-of-pocket is unavailable.
From ethnicity to ethnicity and young and old, that was the same story. That was eye-opening and humbling to me.
One of the things my husband said when he came to volunteer was, wow, these people look just like me.
And as hundreds of people arrive in the middle of the night, they wait their turn. The stories they share reveal the troubling flaws in the system.
She needs glasses. Her glasses are broken. We don't have Medicaid or anything, so she's getting glasses.
I am self-employed. I have health insurance, but it's sort of the minimum mandated health insurance, and there's no dental on it.
I worked for 30 years. I have Medicare, but I can't afford glasses, or I have to decide, do I get my medicine or do I get my teeth fixed?
I'm here today for my vision too, also to check it out, you know.
Dental.
I just take the service for dental.
For documentarian Tony Grobe, a sense of respect and kindness prevailed among volunteers.
You're surrounded by people who are setting a great example of respect, treating people with dignity, listening, giving people the time that they need to express themselves.
There might be some problems with the system, but at least here there's not a problem with the people. The people all want to help. So I think that says a lot about our community.
No one exemplifies that compassion and helpful attitude more than retiree Frankie Manning.
All of these people are volunteering their time to make a difference, and they care. And so when people think that, nobody cares, just look around. It's here. I am an old person. It gets me out of bed in the morning. And I feel so grateful because I know these people needs this care and they can't get it no place else. So I feel like this is important work.
This documentary proves goodwill combined with the power of community can work wonders.
I'm volunteering at the clinic this year. I'm putting the camera down and I'm just going to roll up my sleeves and say, how can I help?
I think there's something in this documentary for everyone. I just hope people take the time to see it.
If you'd like to see the documentary, just go to the Seattle Channel website, seattlechannel.org, and look for the title of the film, Stronger Than Medicine. We'll be right back. And we return to Seattle Center, home of the Seattle-King County Health Clinic. And joining us now is Robert Nellens, the director of Seattle Center. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming.
Well, Robert, years ago, you challenged your staff to think in some new and different ways. And that's really how this health clinic all came about.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were coming out of our 50th anniversary and we were, going out from creating a deficit that we had after the Sonics had left. And so, trying to build new momentum and so forth, we started to feel a little bit better about ourselves, but we wanted some new challenges and so forth. So a couple members of our team, I challenged our whole leadership team. I said, think about the assets that we have here, the facilities, the people, et cetera, and how we might use those differently to support our community. And a couple of people came to me and said, we saw something on 60 Minutes the other night that we think we could do, and we actually could bring it here. And that was the beginning of our conversation about having a free health clinic here at Seattle Center.
And since then, it has happened and it's grown.
Well, yeah, we've done it 5 years. The next month will be the 6th clinic that we do, and it's an amazing thing from my perspective, and because of a couple things. One, they get a lot of data from people and so forth, the folks who are partnering with us to provide the services, and plus the patients that come through. And the surveys from the patients are just phenomenal. You get like 92, 93, 94, 95% agreement with the fact that they've been treated exceedingly well. The thing that amazes me about this clinic is the providers, the volunteers. They're like at 96, 97, 98. The partners that have become part of this over time have created their own community. And at Seattle Center, we say that our purpose is to delight and inspire the human spirit to build stronger community. One of the strongest communities we have is with the health clinic.
And volunteers, as you mentioned, you have encouraged them to provide grace and dignity to those in need, and now that's become the mantra of the clinic.
Well, yeah, I mean, we it's kind of part of the culture that we have here at Seattle Center, we want to be welcoming and inclusive and make sure that people feel part of a community, that each and every day here is kind of a redefinition of what community is in Seattle. And so how do people experience that, make sure that they take a positive experience with them as they leave? So when we went into the clinic, we started with this notion that, okay, we must create a safe space for people. You know, if you're coming saying that you need something and you can't afford to do it, you're already in a place where most people don't even look you in the eye or may not treat you this way or that. Here, we're going to greet you, we're going to support you, we're going to care for you, and we're going to follow up with you if need be.
So there is a restorative quality that you give those people in need that come here. But for those that volunteer to help, they get the same.
They get, I actually suggest they get more. You know, a lot of the folks in the healthcare industry, one of the things that they've told us over time has been, you know, when you're in the grind of providing healthcare and you're doing this and you're following all these rules and doing all those things, at the clinic, all you're about is providing the healthcare. It is stripped of everything else. We make sure that all you do is provide your expertise. You're able to do that just gracefully. And I got to tell you, it's such a joy to walk around and talk to some of the providers and just see how their faces are lit up in terms of, you know, this is why I got into this. This is what I wanted. It's not filling out all those forms. It's not meeting those insurance things. It's not doing all those that other stuff. It's about providing the service to the people who need it.
You're a volunteer. Why do you do it?
Well, you know, I have I think this is just an incredible program, but I have a kind of a ethos, and that is you don't ask people to do anything that you wouldn't do. And so what I always do, and I do the same thing every year, the first day of the clinic, you'll find me at the registration desk. I like to greet people, welcome them, get their information, and it gives me a sense of who's coming to this, who needs this, but it also gives me an opportunity to connect with my fellow citizen, my fellow Seattleite, my fellow Washingtonian, and some people who come from outside of Washington.
You no doubt take a great deal of pride into what this clinic provides and what it's given to those in need as well as those that are participating as volunteers.
I do, and that pride is a little tempered, I would say. Yes, I think that what has been created and the partnerships that have allowed that to happen are fabulous. I tone it down just a bit because it's needed and necessary. You know, one of the other things that we had when we started this is that this is something good to do short term, but this can't be a long-term solution. So how do we go into the next step? And for all of the great things that happen here, I can tell you that how do we get to the next level, the next step, that's still a work in progress.
Robert Nellums, you're inspiring a lot here, along with all the people that you've encouraged to come and help out.
Well, thank you. I'm just the figurehead, the face of this. We got a whole bunch of people behind me who do all the real work.
Robert Nellums, thank you very much. Now, if you'd like to volunteer at the Seattle-King County Health Clinic, go to seattlecenter.org/volunteers, and then find the blue Click to Sign Up button near the bottom of the webpage, then follow the instructions from there. Next on CityStream, it's called Seattle Stand Down, and the point is to help veterans get back on their feet.
It's very important for Seattle IT to participate in these events because this community is important to us, and that we not only serve them through the service that we provide, but also that we participate on these important events that help the community. The expectation of technology is huge. One of our responsibilities as techs is to have the technology working all the time, every time. We're staffing about 5 people. Anytime there's a problem with technology there, we are there to help. We bring about 25 laptops, really long distances of wire. We help positioning access points. We do the connection in the wire closet. It's very important because the volunteers depend on these machines to be working well. key arena. They're not designed for machines to capture images or to see you through the screen. Seattle IT has been doing this for several years now, and I get a lot in return. My background is in service, in customer service, and I take that very seriously.
Just last month, a different event provided help for struggling military veterans. Many servicemen and women have a hard time adjusting to civilian life. The goal of the 9th Seattle Stand Down was not to give handouts to military veterans in need, but a hand up. Producer Randy Ng explains.
What I want to do is have you talk to the doctor first.
Okie dokie. During Vietnam, they would need a period of time to rest, to take care of their equipment, to just get ready to fight again. That period was called a stand down.
Take it up off the ears or leave it?
This is our 9th year of doing this event. We don't give handouts. What we want to do is provide that hand up of the easy on-ramp to services that if people want, they can help themselves.
It's very important. Get your teeth worked on, where you learn if you're diabetic, or you sign up for a different little care, your Social Security, you sign up for your VA disability benefits. This helps, it does. I just like to say just being around people, serving other people.
Lining it up here. Are you seeing the little dot there? I understand myself what it's like to actually need and be in need. We were homeless for a little while, and I know what it's, 3 or 4 months I lived in the woods in a tent. So this is something that we do and we don't take it for granted. Not everyone has the opportunity to get to an optometrist. We can see stage 1 through 4 of high blood pressure or hypertension in the eye. Stage 4, they can have a stroke and die, and it's a silent killer.
NTVPFRU.
That's 2020 right there. Sweet. Can you high five? Looking good. So those are yours. If the tide rises, all the boats rise. And so that's what we're trying to do. We give them love and help and whatever they need, and that's the goal.
As people leave the service, you go from a very tightly structured hierarchical world where very much many things are taken care of for you, to a world which seems like nobody cares. Things are scattered all around. You can't tell who's who. It's very disconcerting, and it's very possible for someone to have left the service, been fully functional, get out here and just not be able to cope.
Women veterans. It is hard to find women to get them to come out to events. Not only are they forgotten, but they don't identify. A lot of women don't feel like they deserve the title of veteran because they didn't do combat per se.
I was in the Army. I was an aircraft refueler. I refuel helicopters hot, meaning it's still running. When you were in the service, you were taught to be independent and to soldier on. You were taught to be resourceful, not to ask for help. I have 2 strikes against me. One being being a woman and being Asian. I didn't think I was allowed to ask for help. When I first came out to stand down, I lost my home. So I went from finding a safe place to live to now how do I maintain this safe place to live, because there's other needs that I have.
The needs, we've got obviously employment, but we've got women who need health care for themselves, health care for their children. Women have other stuff to do, right? They don't have a whole lot of time to hold on to that identity of being a soldier.
So what Seattle Stand Down did is essentially helped, healing from the inside out.
We need like a huge network so we can get the other women that are not identifying to come on out. The importance of that is there are so many benefits that a veteran can get. They served our country, they earned them, they need to come get them. Sometimes we don't get a lot of women coming, but if we can save that one, we're here for that one.
Asking for help is difficult. It requires that you say, I need something.
Should we trim her nails while she's here?
Yeah. I'm homeless in a car waiting for Seattle Housing to finish cleaning a place before I can move in. I lost her other blanket, needed another blanket, and they had one.
What if the only source of unconditional love you have is that companion? Many times we've talked to vets and they say they'll feed their pet before they feed themselves.
And so by providing services, including food and just care, the animals are cared for so they can care for themselves.
See you later.
See you later.
I get to know that I've had this little moment to help people. I have this ability to touch their lives in a way that is kind of unique.
We treat them first class because that's what they deserve, and they need to be treated first class by everyone.
Being here, it's a place for me to pay it forward, to encourage fellow veterans to say, hey, you know what, you don't have to do any of this by yourself. You don't have to do any of this alone.
For all of us who are here, our purpose is to serve. Our direction, the veteran. Our community is who we are together.
It means they're giving back to the veterans what have served our country.
Yeah, I just feel gracious and very humble and thankful. It's a good thing that they do for veterans.
I'm saying thank you for coming out to do this for us, and they're like, no, thank you for your service, and I'm like, no, thank you for coming out. It's important. It really is.
We're trained. Your buddy can help you. Your buddy will help you. Together you can do the mission. So asking another veteran for help feels different.
Over the last few years, Seattle Stand Down has consistently served more than 400 veterans. That number is equal to about half of the known homeless veterans in King County. If you would like to get involved in Stand Down Seattle 2020, just go to their webpage at theseattlestandown.org. We'll be right back.
It's important for me to be here because Martin Luther King, this is his day. Started my freedom, started black people to be able to go out and get jobs the way they should. I just feel like it's very important that I honor him.
Ever since I was little, I heard I have a dream, so, I'm just trying to keep it alive. Well, I hope that our young brothers start waking up. Like, it took me 50 years to wake up and see that there's a lot of opportunity out here. You just got to go and get it.
It's still a work in progress because there's still a lot going on that we need to fight for. There's still a lot that we need to see a change. We just got to live day by day and keep fighting for the dream.
I just want to see the day when everyone can walk and talk and be friends with each other, just like this group is today. This is the way life should be.
That wraps up this episode of CityStream from Seattle Center, home to the upcoming Seattle King County Health Clinic. It runs from February 13th to the 16th, and all services are free. If you'd like to learn more, just go to the website, seattlecenter.org/SKC Clinic. I'm Enrique Cerna. Thanks for watching.